You have $25,000 sitting in your savings account right now. You feel responsible. You feel secure. You feel smart. But what if I told you that money is quietly stealing from you? That your emergency fund, the thing you were told would protect you, is actually one of the biggest financial mistakes you're making right now? Let's talk about what you've been taught. Save 6 months of expenses. Keep it liquid. Keep it safe. Put it in a high-yield savings account. You followed the rules. You did everything right. You've got $25,000 earning 2.5% interest. That's $625 a year. Feels good, right? Wrong. Here's what they didn't tell you. Inflation is running at 3.2%. Your money is earning 2.5%. That means you're losing 0.7% every single year. On $25,000, that's $175 vanishing into thin air annually. But it gets worse. Way worse. Let's look at what that money could be doing. $25,000 invested in the S&P 500 historically returns 10% annually. Over 30 years, that becomes $436,000. Your savings account at 2.5%? $53,000. You just gave up $383,000 for the feeling of security. This is the trap they don't teach you in school. The middle class saves cash. The wealthy invest. You think you're being responsible by keeping huge cash reserves. Meanwhile, every dollar sitting in that account is bleeding purchasing power. You're playing defense while the wealthy play offense. And here's the kicker. You probably have more than you think just sitting there. That old checking account from college with $3,000? The savings account you opened for a specific goal and forgot about with $8,000. The money market account your parents set up with $5,000. Add it all up. Most Americans have $40,000 to $60,000 scattered across accounts, all losing to inflation. Two people, both 30 years old, both have $25,000 in emergency funds. Person 1 keeps it in savings for 30 years, adding nothing. They have $53,000 at 60. Person 2 keeps only $5,000 in cash, invests $20,000, adds nothing more. At 60, they have $174,000. Same starting point, $121,000 difference. The only difference? One understood opportunity cost. Here's what the wealthy actually do. They keep 1 month of expenses in checking. That's it. $2,000 to $3,000 for immediate access. Then they keep 3 to 6 months in a money market or treasury bills, actual liquidity that at least keeps pace with inflation. Everything else? Invested in index funds. You're worried about emergencies. But what's the real risk? Medical emergency? You have insurance and payment plans. Job loss? Unemployment benefits cover basics while you find work. Car breakdown? A credit card gives you 30 days to move money. The real emergency is reaching 65 broke because you were too scared to invest. Let's do the full math. You're 30. You have $30,000 sitting in savings. By 65, at 2.5%, you'll have $69,000. Sounds okay until you realize inflation cut that in half. It's really worth $34,000 in today's money. You made $4,000 in 35 years. If you'd invested that same $30,000 at 10%, $1.4 million. You just paid $1.3 million for the privilege of feeling safe? Here's the system that actually works. Bottom rung, 1 month expenses in checking, instant access. Second rung, 2 months in high-yield savings, next day access. Third rung, 3 months in short-term treasury bills, 1 week access. Everything else? Long-term index fund investing. You still have 6 months covered, but you're not hemorrhaging wealth. And here's the secret weapon nobody talks about. That credit card with a $10,000 limit, that's your real emergency fund. Something breaks, you put it on the card. You have 30 days to move money from investments if you need to. Most emergencies, resolved and paid off within the grace period. 0 interest paid, 0 opportunity cost. But this isn't really about math, is it? It's about fear. You grew up hearing about the Great Depression. Your parents stressed about money. You watched the 2008 crash on TV. So you hoard cash because cash feels safe. But you're letting trauma from the past destroy your future. Fear is expensive. You were told, work hard, save money, retire rich. That's a lie from a different era. When savings accounts paid 8% and inflation was 2%, sure, saving worked. But we're not in that world anymore. The rules changed. But you're still playing the old game, and you're losing. Here's another trap. That big savings account makes you feel wealthy. So you spend more freely. $60 dinners? You've got savings. Spontaneous weekend trip? You've got a cushion. New gadget? You're being responsible. You have emergency funds. Your savings account is literally enabling you to waste money everywhere else. Average American has 41,000 in savings accounts, invested over 40 years from age 25 to 65 at 10%. That's $4.4 million. But they leave it in savings at 2.5%. They retire with 130,000. They gave up $4.3 million. For what? For the feeling of safety they could have achieved with 10,000 in actual emergency funds. You know who loves your savings account? The bank. They pay you 2.5%. Then they lend your money to someone else at 7% on a car loan or 22% on a credit card. They're making a 4.5 to 19.5% spread on your money. You're literally funding their profit margin while you stay poor. Here's what you do today. Log into every bank account you have, add up the total, subtract your 1 month of expenses for checking, subtract 3 months for actual emergency access. Everything else, and I mean everything, gets moved to a low-cost index fund. Today. Not next month. Not when the market looks better. Today. What if you invest and the market crashes tomorrow? Worst case, historically, you wait 3 years and you're back to even. Best case, you bought the dip and you're up 30% in 5 years. Compare that to the guarantee of losing to inflation forever in your savings account. You're choosing between maybe a temporary loss versus definitely a permanent loss. Why are you choosing definitely? Your emergency fund isn't protecting you. It's a financial prison you built for yourself. Real security isn't a pile of cash losing value. Real security is assets that grow faster than inflation. Real security is understanding that the biggest risk isn't a car breakdown or job loss. It's reaching 65 and realizing your safety kept you poor. The emergency isn't coming. The emergency is now. Every day you wait costs you hundreds of dollars in lost growth. Stop playing defense, start building wealth. The choice is yours.